guys. Let me just get my face cam up here. Hi guys, I just started working on my setup right here. Hold on. Right now I do have a few posters and things that I colored and made. I'll give you a tour of this part of my room. I'm not going to give you a tour of the rest of my room because it's a little messy right now. Because we just moved here about 6 months ago, and not 6 months. I don't know how many months ago, but I still need to organize my room. I just throw everything in my closet like I did the others. But anyways, I do kind of have a view, but the pillow's blocking it. And then I have a Bible in this corner, but you guys can't see it. And I have something to check my status, which is my phone, and self-defense, and something stupid to self-defense to use. Defend myself just in case the intruder comes into this house. But anyways, we're doing 7-second reels today, so yeah, because like I said, I'll give you guys a tour. Yeah, as soon as I get a new desk. I'm using my dog's cage right now. Yeah, I know, it's lame. But anyways, let's begin this video.
A student was having an exam and he was about to fail it. The professor decided to give him one more chance and asked the last question. It was, "What's my oldest daughter's name?" The student was puzzled. The professor decided the question was too hard and gave the guy a hint. He wrote down 3 numbers, 58, 3, and 11. Can you help the student answer the question?
58, 3, and 11. And there's 27 letters in the alphabet. Did I say 28? I think it was 27. I can't remember. Oh yeah, I forgot. No pausing. Rose.
It's a chemistry class. The riddle must be related to this subject. Have a look at the periodic table. The 58th element is cerium, or Ce. The 3rd element is lithium, Li. And the 11th element is sodium, or Na. If you put all of them together, you'll get the name Selena. The professor liked the game. When another student was struggling with his task, he gave him another puzzle. The man said, "I have daughters. All of them, except 2, have dark hair. All of them, except 2, have blonde hair. And all of them, except 2, have red hair. How many daughters do I have?" Can you help the student out?
Six.
This time, the riddle has nothing to do with chemistry. Pure logic. The professor has 3 daughters. One of them has dark hair, the second is blonde, and the 3rd daughter has red hair. On a rainy summer night, Mrs. Miller came home after work. Her neighbor, Mrs. Smith, visited her. The women wanted to have some tea together. Mrs. Smith said her daughter was at a party. She met one of Mrs. Miller's triplet sons there. Mrs. Miller asked which one it was, but her friend didn't know. Her daughter could never tell the guys apart. The problem was all 3 of them were grounded and weren't allowed to go out until the next week. Mrs. Miller wanted to find out who had broken the rules. She called the boys and asked how they'd spent the day. Ian, the artist, said, "In the evening, I was outside drawing." Ryan, the musician, said, "I spent all day inside writing a new song." Luke, who likes sports, said, "I did a workout and spent the rest of the day reading." Mrs. Miller understood which of her sons was lying and grounded him for another month. Who's the liar, and how did she know?
Oh, let's just tell Mom that I put it outside. You stupid. I don't know. I can't remember his name.
Ian lied. He said he'd been drawing outside, but it was raining. After classes, Margot was studying in the library. At one point, she left for the bathroom. When the girl returned, she found out her wallet was gone. Margot immediately called the police. The librarian said she'd seen some guy, but she had poor eyesight and couldn't remember what he looked like. After listening to her vague description, the police officers questioned 3 students. Owen said he had been studying and hadn't even left his desk until the police arrived. Finn said he'd seen the girl but never really paid attention to her. He was looking for some books. Lucas said he'd been busy talking to his friend on the phone. He hadn't seen anything. Can you figure out who stole the wallet? It was Luca.
Yeah.
He said he'd been talking on the phone, but it's prohibited in the library. If he had used his phone, he'd have been immediately kicked out. So, he's lying.
I just took a random guess.
A member of an expedition to the South Pole found himself in a frozen cave. He didn't remember what had happened, but he knew he had to get out. The man saw 3 doors and a note saying what was behind each of them. Behind the first door, there was a hungry polar bear. Behind the second door, there was a room filled with poisonous gas. And behind the third, there was a room with sharp icicles falling from the ceiling every second. Which door should the man choose to survive?
The first one, because you have to harm or hit the polar bear. Jeez.
He should pick the first door. He's at the South Pole. There are no polar bears there.
Ah!
At Domino's,
That's
order
correct.
carryout online or by phone and get any one-topping pizza for $7.99 each.
Aurora was spending her summer in the countryside. She often took long walks in the forest alone. One day, she saw a huge mansion. It was obvious no one lived there, so she entered the house. It was dusty inside, but still beautiful. Aurora took some pictures and left the place. When the girl came back home, she looked through her photos. She wanted to pick the best ones to post on her social media, but then she saw one of the photos and screamed. Take a careful look at this photo. Can you see what scared her so much?
Her reflection?
Aurora noticed she, herself, was in the photo. But it's impossible. She was alone in the house. Ben was walking in the park at night when someone knocked him out and stole all his stuff. The guy went to the police. 3 people, Cole, Jerry, and Bernard, were in the park at that time. They got arrested. The detective gave each of them a marker and asked them to write their names on the whiteboard. As soon as they finished, he immediately arrested the right person. Who was guilty, and how did the detective find it out?
Comment down below and tell me how many you got right. Wait, what was the question?
As soon as they finished, he immediately arrested the right person. Who was guilty, and how did the detective find it out?
It's the male guy. Because he's holding the pen like this instead. Wait, what? No, he's
It
not.
was Jerry. Ben was hit from the right. It means the person who did it was left-handed. Among the 3 suspects, that's only Jerry.
I knew it was
Really? Ben and Jerry? I think I need some ice cream. Stella and Adeline were sisters. Their grandmother once presented Adeline a bracelet. But both girls loved this piece of jewelry very much. So sometimes Stella snuck into her sister's room and borrowed the bracelet. One day, Adeline came home and noticed the bracelet was gone. She knocked on her sister's door. Stella opened the door, realized it was her sister, and shut it again. In a couple of minutes, Adeline managed to break into the room. She started searching for the bracelet. Stella told her that this time she hadn't taken Adeline's jewelry. Adeline didn't find anything and had to leave. But on her way out, she remembered something and managed to get her bracelet back. Where was it?
So what? Where was it? Wait. I never seen on Everest.
When Stella opened the door, she had her hair down. But later, she already had her hair tied up. In those few minutes, She made a bun and hid the bracelet in her hair.
Almost
Another
right.
day, another walk in the forest, and Esme got lost again. And still, she managed to find the way to the witch's house. This time, the woman had another task for Esme. The witch gave Esme a candy bar and a knife. She was going to perform 7 tricks. After each of them, Esme had to give her 1/7 of the bar. But there was a catch. The knife was magical and could only make 2 cuts. It was also impossible to break the bar or cut it without the knife. How did Esme fulfill these conditions and return home?
You just have to count the amount of pieces and then cut it.
Esme made 2 cuts, dividing the bar into the following pieces: 1/7, 2/7, and 4/7. After the first trick, she gave the witch the 1/7 piece. After the second one, the girl offered the woman the 2/7 piece and took away the 1/7. After the third trick, she gave the witch the smallest piece back. After the fourth trick, Esme took away the first 2 pieces and gave the woman the 4/7 piece. Then she gave her the smallest piece again. After the 6th trick, the girl took away the 1/7 and gave the witch the 2/7 piece. And after the last trick, she gave the woman the smallest part of the bar again. 3 women, Sarah, Milla, and Eleanor, went shopping. 2 of them are pregnant, and one is a professional watermelon thief. Yeah, I know, but just humor me. Can you tell which one stole the watermelon?
It's the short-haired pink shirt.
It's Milla. She's wearing heels. It's not the kind of shoes pregnant women would wear.
You kidding me?
During a casual walk deep in the forest, Esme got lost. After hours of wandering, she saw a witch's house. Esme asked the elderly woman to show her the way back. The witch refused, but she was in a good mood and offered a deal. She gave Esme 3 apples. 2 of them were poisoned, and 1 was okay to eat. The girl had to pick 1 apple and bite into it. If she didn't get poisoned, the witch would show her the way home. Esme was a smart girl and managed to do it. How did she know which apple to pick?
The one with the worm in it. Because the worm would be in the apple if it was poisoned because it was already died.
In 1 apple, there was a worm, which means it was safe to eat. After classes, Nora stayed at the university. She needed to finish her project. She was sitting in the hallway. Soon, she got hungry. The girl went to grab some food and left all her stuff behind. When Nora returned, she checked her things and called the police. She told them what had happened and reported her wallet stolen. There were 3 other students nearby. All of them were questioned. Kennedy said she had been texting her friends. Ethan said, "I did sit close to Nora for a while, but I didn't see or touch her wallet." Gabriella said she had been in the classroom and just walked out a couple minutes before. The detective listened to them and left without arresting anyone. Why?
Did she have them all?
The detective remembered that Nora had gone to get some food. It means the wallet was with her and couldn't be stolen. The girl lied.
Okay, well, if you guys enjoyed that video, please like and subscribe, and hope you guys have a nice day, and see you here in a few seconds probably. Well, have a nice day. Bye.